Kristin's question lesson session where you ask her a bunch of stuff. What's poppin', rosebuds? It's Kristin and welcome back to Kristin's question lesson session. I hope you all had a wonderful week. I hope you had a great Halloween and I hope you got a lot of candy. I didn't get any candy, I just ate the trick-or-treaters' candy from my house. And y'all have probably noticed, Kristin, why in the hell are there Christmas lights? Because Halloween is over. I'm not a big Thanksgiving person. I mean, I like Thanksgiving, I love seeing my family, but it's nothing crazy to me. So I'm ready for Christmas. I've been so ready for Christmas. I had a weekend where I was just grumpy and I was sick and I didn't feel good, so I decided to decorate for Christmas, and my whole apartment is decked out in Christmas lights right now. And there will be a lot more than these, but for now I have these peppermint candy things and some penguins. So Christmas is starting now. I hope you enjoy my holiday setup. It'll be like this until probably New Year's, so enjoy the Christmas lights because I love Christmas and it's gonna be Christmas for a while. It's like Kristin-miss. So thank you guys so much for all of your wonderful feedback on my haunted cover. I'm glad you all enjoyed it. It was so much fun and the video was so much fun and that fake blood stained my face and it was awesome. Thank you guys for sharing it. Thank you guys for commenting and liking and all that great stuff. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it, and this week's cover will be posted on Wednesday, so stay tuned for that. But now, let's get to your questions. White Castle or In-N-Out? I've only had both one time, which sounds really weird. I mean, In-N-Out is really only on the West Coast, right? I've only had it in California. We don't have it on the East Coast. And White Castle I've only had once because... So probably In-N-Out. In-N-Out was great when I had it, from what I remember. Kristin, you've been on YouTube and FNC for years now. What were the best and worst parts of kinda growing up with an audience? This is actually a really interesting question. For those of you who do not know, I did start Friday Night Cranks with Jared when I was only 10, so I kinda did grow up on YouTube. It was interesting. I mean, the best parts were that you guys got to experience so many milestones with me. You know, you guys were there when I turned into a teenager, you guys were there when I got braces, you were there when I got my braces off, you were there for my Sweet 16, you were there when I graduated high school. So it's just really cool milestones like that you guys got to experience with me. But I mean, the worst parts were kind of that I needed to be really secretive about a lot of things and I had to make sure I didn't say certain things. It was hard, like not saying what school I went to or I didn't say how old I was for a really long time, only because I was so young that my parents just really weren't comfortable with me saying that I was only 10 years old and not really wanting anyone to know personal stuff. But yeah, I mean, the best part is that you guys got to experience those things with me, and the worst part was just, you know, having to be so secretive and really having to watch myself all the time. Could you ever see yourself in a constant behind a desk kind of job or a more interactive job such as a professional singer? I'm sorry, but I can never see myself behind a desk or like in a cubicle. Nope, I would get way too bored. No, I watch my dad do it and I don't understand how he does it. My dad's an accountant and I just don't get how he can sit there all day long. I mean, I barely have the patience to sit and edit a video for 3 hours, let alone sit there for 8-9 hours a day. And editing videos are fun. I mean, we're sitting there doing like paperwork. Nope. I need some sort of interactive job where I'm a singer or an actress or I'm a teacher interacting with little kids. I need to be doing something where I'm not sitting on my butt all day because I will go insane. If you could live in any fictional world, which would you live in and why? That's a really good question. A fictional world. Probably be Neverland. And I'm sure that sounds really lame, but I just don't want to grow up. I mean, there are certain things like, yeah, I can drive a car, yeah, I can get tattoos, woo, I can vote, yeah, I can go to federal prison. But like, I just don't want to grow up. I don't want to have to worry about things. I don't want to have to pay bills and pay taxes and go to work and worry about stupid shit. I just don't want to grow up. I want to live in Neverland where I can be a kid and love life all the time. I mean, to be honest, that's kind of what I'm doing now. I'm just a kid all the time anyway, but where it would be acceptable and no one would judge me for it. What's your favorite iPhone emoticon and why? My favorite one? Let's look at my recently used ones and I'll tell you which one is my favorite because apparently I use it all the time. I'll give you my top 3. My top 3 most used emoticons are this one, this one, and this one. I love the monkey. I think the monkey's so cute. What's your proudest achievement in your life so far? I don't know, it's tough. Being on Legends TV was really cool because that was my first time really performing in front of a huge audience, and really just being myself and being able to show the world Kristin Rose, the singer, was really cool. That's probably one of the greatest things I've ever done in my life, and I'm so proud that I was just able to do that and that they wanted me to be on there, which is awesome. So probably that, or either the fact that I really did graduate a year early. I know that sounds really lame, and a lot of people are like, oh, it's so easy to graduate a year early, just double up on classes and do it. But honestly, it was really hard, and I had a lot of homework, and I had a lot of things to focus on, and it wasn't that easy, so I'm proud of myself for that. Even though people bust my chops about it all the time because it was so easy, but until you do it, you know what, it's a lot of work, it's a lot to do, so I'm proud of myself for those things. And the last question, how much do you love what you do? What drives you to do what you love? I love what I do so much. You know, right now I'm working at a preschool with 2-year-olds, and I love that job because they're so adorable. But, you know, it's not something that I want to do my whole life, and it's not something that I am so passionate about. I mean, I'm definitely passionate about kids, I'm definitely passionate about teaching, but where my heart's really at is this, and talking to you guys, and being able to share my experience with you guys, either through KQLS or with my covers, because, you know, believe it or not, when I record a cover, I'm not just recording it to record it, like, there is something behind that, and usually I talk about that on KQLS, which is why I'm trying to kind of correlate those, but you guys have seen that. You guys have seen me break down in covers, and you've seen me be an idiot, and you've seen me be myself, and you've seen me be somebody else, and it's just, you guys have been able to really relate with me, and I love that we can do that, and that is just something that I'm so passionate about, is being able to say to you, hey, you're not alone in this. I went through this too, and look at me, and I'm still here, and I'm still okay, and I'm still going, and I'm still fighting, and being able to talk to you guys about those things and relating with you guys and making sure that we can get each other through things is one of the coolest things I've ever been able to do. And it sounds so corny, and I've said this before, but you guys are definitely what drive me to do what I do every day. And the fact that I'm able to do that because of you guys is one of the greatest things. And, you know, knowing that you guys are waiting for a KQLS because you've had a really bad day, or you're waiting for a cover because you need something to get your mind off of things, or waiting for a Friday video because you need a laugh, knowing that you guys are there, knowing that you guys need that from me is exactly why I do what I do, and it just pushes me to keep doing it. And thank you guys for that, and thank you for watching my videos, and thank you for supporting me, because without you guys, you know, maybe I would be stuck at an office job, so thank you guys for that, honestly. You guys always get me so mushy! Ugh. Now that we're all emotional, on to the advice section! Okay, so today's topic is falling out of love. It's a topic we haven't talked about love yet, which is really weird because I've been doing KQLS for almost 2 months now, and we haven't talked about love, which is really weird. I know now I'm gonna be putting your screen caps in when you ask me your KQLS questions, which is great because I figured out how to do it. I'm not gonna do that for the advice section, only because you guys are confiding in me, and I want the advice section to kind of be just anonymous and me talking to you. If you ask the question, you know exactly who you are, and even if you didn't ask the question, it's still gonna relate to you. So I don't want to be just talking to one person at this point. What do you do with gifts and stuff when a relationship ends? How do you decide what to keep, what to give back, what to get rid of, etc.? It depends on the relationship. If things ended horribly and you never want to see the person again and you don't want to give them their stuff back, then don't. Burn it. I'm not saying I've ever done that, but you can throw it out the window, drive around, throw it in the woods. No, don't do that. But you know, if you really don't want to see that person and you just don't want their gifts, you don't want their pictures, throw them out. Put them in the garbage, just get rid of them. If you're on good terms and they're like, hey, can I have my stuff back? Then say, hey, sure, give it to them. It all depends on how you left off, but if you break up with somebody and you're not ready to throw those things out, don't. You don't have to. You know, sometimes it's best to just put it in the closet and kind of give yourself that time to get over things and then throw them out. It really all depends on the relationship and how things ended and the terms you're on with that person. Has one of your relationships ever ended with someone falling out of love? What caused that to happen? Yes, I have had relationships where the person has fallen out of love, or I have fallen out of love. It has happened. It's not a bad thing. It's not something you can control. It's just how you're feeling. If you feel like there's just no spark anymore, maybe try and give it another try. See if there's that spark, if you can do something spontaneous, if you can do something fun. You know, someone has fallen out of love with me, and that is probably the worst feeling in the world, especially if you're still in love with that person. But if they do tell you that they're falling out of love with you and that it's over, don't try and fight it, because then they're gonna be with you just because they feel bad, and that's not what you want. If they're being honest enough with you, saying, you know, I'm not in love with you anymore, take that and say, okay, then it's done, because you don't want someone who doesn't love you with all of their heart. You don't want to be with someone who doesn't love you as much as you love them, because I've been there and that is the worst feeling in the entire world, and that's not a relationship that you should be in. It's gonna suck and it's gonna hurt, but in the end you're gonna realize that you deserve someone who's gonna love you just as much as you love them, who's gonna want to see you every single day, who's gonna want to be with you every minute of every day, and who's gonna want to put in the same amount of effort that you put in. So do not settle for someone who's just gonna love you enough. You don't want those kinds of people, and if they're doing things just because they feel bad, just because you love them, then you're not gonna be happy, and eventually it's gonna blow up in your face. So if someone's being honest enough with you, saying that they are falling out of love with you, it sucks, but you need to respect that, and you need to walk away with that knowing that they're saving you time and they're really saving you heartache. And last for today, how do you know when it's over and it's not just a problem that you can work on? I can ask you for advice on love and relationships forever. It's all so confusing. Kristin, be my big sister. Of course I will be your big sister. When do you know it's time to quit? When you start feeling nervous about seeing that person, but in a bad way. Like when you're like, ugh, or I have to go see them. But when it's to the point of, I just don't want to be around you, or there's always fighting over little things, or you don't get that great feeling in the pit of your stomach when you see them, or when you see them you don't smile like you used to, or when you see them you just don't get the same feeling that you did, then you know it's time. You will know. It's not just something like, oh, they said this to you, time to fall out of love. You will know. It's not that you're giving up, it's just that you're being honest and you're following your heart. If, you know, you really need to sit and talk to the person about it and say, look, we've been fighting a lot, what's going on? Is there something going on you haven't told me? Try and see if it is something that you can work out, and if it's just something that has been going on and on and on and you're not happy and the other person isn't happy, then, you know, unfortunately it's probably time to call it quits. If it is something that your heart isn't in, then get out of it to save both of you heartache. Alright guys, thank you again so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this week's video. Stay tuned for my cover on Wednesday and for my video on Friday. Merry Kristin Miss! It's starting now. We're gonna make this a thing. Hashtag Kristin Miss. I'm gonna have so many cool videos for the holidays, so stay tuned for that. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Mail me things to my P.O. box. I need some more signs, so mail them to me. I have some I haven't hung up yet. I know I said I was gonna do that, and then I got caught up in Christmas. Send me more signs. I want to fill up this whole wall, so don't be afraid to send me things. Send me your signs, send me letters, I will write you back. If you have any questions, you need advice that you don't want to be on Kristin's Question Lesson Session, email me, advicefromkristin@gmail.com. Thank you guys again for watching. If I missed anything, I'll put it in the box below. Just read down there for all my information. I love you guys so much. And Rosebuds, I'll smell you later.